Hello everyone, welcome back in. Thomas and Friends, Wonders of Sodor. We got a schedule planned today. We're not just going to be travelling around without purpose. Thanks for joining me yesterday for the scheduled timetable sessions. We did pretty well. We ran the entire length of Sodor within, I suppose, 2.5 hours. Anyway, we're here. Tidmouth Sheds. We're going to start as Thomas, nice and early. Bit foggy outside, a little bit windy. We're going to continue with Annie and Clarabelle to Farquhar Station. When we get there, we're going to transition to Troublesome Trucks, and we're going to do a little bit of free play. So we're going to transport Annie and Clarabelle to Farquhar, and then the plan is to Troublesome Trucks it all the way up to the Quarry, and then afterwards we'll take those Troublesome Trucks probably back to either Knapford or Tidmouth, depends what's happening. Anyway, welcome in, let's get started. As you could tell yesterday, I was having a little bit of issues with the figuring out the game, figuring out how to do the free play. Watched the video when it actually turns out. They just made it a little bit more complicated than they had to. Anyway, I'm here, we've got Percy in the background with some carriages and Gordon as well, but we're departing early, so let's get going. As far as I'm aware, there is also an option, which is something that didn't show up yesterday, but if you press tab, you can see there, you can not only unlock the doors, but when you get to a stop signal, you will have the options to contact signaler. Now, it doesn't give you that instruction clearly, so when we do the free play, if you want to change the signal, we contact signaler. If it can't be done, sometimes it will let you drive through it. Onwards and upwards. We begin our first leg, Farquhar, early morning, nice and foggy. And we are going to keep an eye out for signals. We're going to have a lovely time like we did yesterday. Still enjoying it. But then again, I want to get my money's worth. There's tons of content left to do. Tons of free roaming stuff. Tons of timetable stuff. So now we're coming up to a signal. We're going to stop here. Sometimes it will let you go through them. But I'm just going to show you the contact signaler. Proceed as signals indicate. So we got one on the left there, which is green. But ours is... maybe that is ours that's down on the green. So let's try it. It looks like it is. And then the one on the right was red. We've got to be careful here of signals and tracks in case they're selected to the wrong one. We may crash. So far so good. We're going to turn our headlights on. We figured that out. So it's an H for headlights, and it looks really bright in the fog, actually brighter than it did in the daytime, at night time, excuse me. Look at this, it really makes a difference having that foggy weather. Tidmouth Bridge out of Tidmouth Sheds, original starting point over the water. Look at that. Looks like there's a little bit of rain there as well. You can see we've got green lights all ahead. We're sticking to the speed limit of 60, probably 65 I think. The planned route was taken as via these stations. I think that means we can stop at them. Although it's saying stop at Farquhar, so we maybe have to just run straight through for the early morning trip. Here we are, Tidmouth Station. Doesn't it look fantastic? And I bumped up the FPS, so yesterday I turned it up to ultra settings. It wasn't pre-selected on it, so we've turned it up to ultra and I've now put it up to 100 FPS. And performance-wise, it's not really struggling. My computer's not struggling at all with it, so you could probably stream at a high FPS than that. But I don't want to push it too much. 60 FPS is sort of what I'm limited to on streams. To make sure we don't have any issues. Anyway, I did put waypoints like via 2, but it's just telling me to go straight there, so we may as well do it's a bit quicker than this. And of course, Knapford Station, this is where Gordon's based on his express line. This is looking pretty chilled out. Nice early morning run. Did start about 5 o'clock in the morning, so 5:20 now. We're well ahead, and then we'll drop these off after we've done a few missions with the trucks, and we deliver them to various places. And I'll go back on to Annie and Clarabelle possibly. Look at this, absolutely gorgeous. It really captured the aesthetic, and yesterday I had a bit of a bug with not being able to set the snow across the region. I actually think that was a temporary bug because I got it to work later on in the evening, so we can in fact have snow covering the whole area. Strange people where I live, just moved to a new place, but I think it's funny to knock on the door. Anyway guys, we're going to stick focused to this. 2.9 miles to go until we're back at base. Let's keep it going about 30 miles an hour. Here we are, guys, driving in Farquhar. Got 700 meters to go. Or 700 yards. Hacking back. When we get there, we'll disconnect the carriages. They're probably waiting for the morning service, but that's not our job today. We're going to leave probably Percy on the branch line today, so we'll stop here. Objective complete. Now we're free to disconnect and go up to the quarry and pick up some trucks. I think the free mode works slightly differently, so let's hop out. I think if we want to pick up trucks, we're not going to be able to do it, so we have to spawn them in here. We'll disconnect and we're going to drive up. Actually, we're going to try and spawn them in on another track. If we go spawn train, so you can only do the characters. Right, in that case then we'll continue up to the mine and we'll pick them up from the top. You need to set a waypoint, so what you do is you click on your train, set path. And we're not going to need to stop before then, so we're just going to continue all the way up to the top. So there's a few different places here. We have, it's called Anurfa. I don't know how to pronounce it, Anurfa or something, but this is the Farquhar mine. We need to go all the way up to the quarry, so I think that's all set. We'll go to number 5, confirm the waypoint, and now it allows us to travel freely. And it's going to be difficult to pull them uphill anyway, so we'll have to pull them downhill. We'll leave Annie and Clarabelle there. They should remain in the same place. We'll have to change the tracks. We'll have to change the tracks sometimes to avoid crashing. We've also just passed the signal, and now it spawns at Shads, which is a pain. I think my sort of advice to Dovetail Games is stop making free play mode so difficult. So we click on here, travel to Farquhar Station. I thought it would have continued from here. Right, we'll spawn in and we'll do 10 Troublesome trucks. Green. I think they all come with a brake van, so we don't have to worry about that. We'll take these up to the quarry and then we'll come back down and take them. As I say, all the way to Knapford, I suspect. So, say Quarry View 5. It would be so much easier, yeah. I think if you could just drive wherever you want and then just change the tracks as needed. Also, I've been having a look. I think Skarloey Railway, they attempted to start it. I think this is where it starts. Obviously, there's Crovan's Gate, and then there's a line up here, but it goes to nowhere, so we'll try that later on and see if there's anything actually up there. Anyway, here we go, guys, up to the top. can request the signal change. So contacts. Procedure signals indicate. Okay. Now 10 of these is quite a lot. We're going to have to use a lot of speed to get up this hill. So red lights. Is it going to change or not? Procedure signals indicate. So for me, they're all red. Now this happened yesterday as well. Even though they're all red, I went through them and it didn't say it failed because we set a waypoint. So let's try it today. So a little bit there's just a few bugs and things that just need ironing out. Yeah, it looks fantastic. Get up to speed and we'll get over up the hill. If anyone remembers the episode when Thomas comes down the hill, he actually ends up crashing into the water. We'll show you where that is on the way up. There it is. So if we'd gone down there, that's where the old track used to be. Remember on the episode, he comes down the hill, not from this direction, but from the other direction, and he crashes right there, right on the dock, and then goes into the water. Because the tracks weren't switched properly, so hopefully we can avoid that today. It's easy as hell to derail on this part of the track as well. If you go any more than the speed limit and it starts to tilt. I'm not going to take all these back down, otherwise we will probably end up overspeeding and crashing. We've got 10 here. We're going to drop, I think, 6, maybe 4 off of the quarry, and we'll take the remaining 6 there. So we'll have to do a little bit of shunting work, provided the signal's available. Provided there's no signals, actually, because that'll probably fail us. Look at that. Wow. Absolute cinematic. And now you can see them expressions change. Can't wait for them to bring that in, customizable expressions and things. we go, right round. Seems to change them all for me automatically, saving a little bit of time. There it is, we're getting into it, we're coming into the territory. I haven't been in this way before, this is interesting. There's the mines, so quarries and things down there. We're taking the right hand turn, so this will avoid probably the dead end that way and take us all the way to our destination where we'll unhook some of the trucks. We probably can't turn around, or maybe we can. I think we've gone the wrong way to turn around. I think we probably had to go up there and then come down here backwards to go back up forward. So if we come down here, we may be able to reverse, and then we'll figure something out. I'll let her slow down naturally, she'll get there in time. He's doing well though. So here we are, coming to some kind of dead end here. I don't quite remember it actually. Oh yeah, there, sorry, there's the road there where people can drop stuff off. Right, we're going to try and figure out how to do this. So there's not really any easy way to disconnect these, so we're going to have to... I think we may have screwed ourselves. We should have probably reversed into here, but we'll make do with it. Thank God there's a buffer stop there. Right, we're there. Objective completed. We've delivered them to... I don't know if this is the top of the mine, but it is. Where we can park up at least. So what we're going to do now is go up. We'll have to reverse, and then when we reverse here, we're going to be able to go head down, back down, but we want to disconnect some stuff. So, back onto the train for the tedious free play mode, which is anything but. Back up, clicking onto just whatever track, number 3, confirm, and we'll disconnect them there. Absolutely fantastic. We'll disconnect 4, we'll keep the rest of them, including the brake van, which we're probably going to need on this. Actually, one thing we do need to do is just not get too fast for one, and try and change the signals. You see there, we can change it now straight forward. And that should take us up there, and then once we get there we can just start changing the signals by hand. Thankfully I've not seen any signals yet. That might mean we're good to do a little bit of shunting here without failing. Got a little bit of room there to work with. I hope we got enough room to park up with. So we're going to leave 6 coaches here, excuse me, 6 here, so we can come back and take them down the hill. We'll take Thor off and put them into another siding for later on. There we go, so back to the front. Headlight can come off. It does kind of illuminate the path in front, but not much. And I want to be able to carry this with me, but anyway, here we are. Delivered the 10 trucks, and it is a heck of a lot of work here for this locomotive. So, again, not a proper shunter, but it can do shunter work. What we're going to do, disconnect them, so we'll take 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll take the brake onto this one. Again, there's no... Is there a flashlight here? I don't know, but we need to put the brake on this. I think that's on. Brake is on. Disconnect. I'm going to shunt those into the next rail thing. So it's kind of like the shunting challenge, but my own thing. There we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they'll probably just go to the side in next to us. And then you should be able to change the tracks. I can't see an option, so what we do is we do it on the map, and we'll just click it there like that and drive back. It's a shame, I thought we might be able to do it by mouse, but it's not working. Hold on a minute, everybody. Just excuse me 1 minute. Alright, I'm back. We're going to go back for the 6 in the brake van. Let's try it with free camera. So there's the signal. There's a problem. I think there's a problem on free play with the cameras and the controls. So usually on the timetable stuff you can change it, and on the challenges, but on this one you can't. So what you have to do is, I think, do it on the map, like I say, and that will work. Bit of a pain having to do it that way, but at least it does allow you to. So we're going to go back, pick up the rest. There we go. Right, now we can set a route. So we've done a little bit of shunting there. We've realised it allows you to do it, which is better than not allowing you to. We're going to go onto the train track, set path. Now what we're doing is delivering it all the way back down. Not to Farquhar, although we could deliver it to Farquhar good siding if we needed to. But that would require some more shunting. So we're going to continue on all the way down now to Knapford good sidings which are available for us. We'll just choose number 1, confirm the destination. Now it should allow us to go there. 5 miles to go. We've got to be super careful down the hill because it'll derail super easy. There you go, we say goodbye to the 4 trucks. They may stay there for later on. Maybe we can come back and pick them up. And of course we do need to change this track here, I forgot about that. I thought it was on automatic changes for going back, but it's not. So on that. There we go, so set that there, and then we want to just check that the route is blue. I think blue means that it's all good, so as you can see there, connections are all together, which means there'll be no derailing issues. I think if you don't do it, it will cause those problems. And again, just checking it all the way down. There's a stop signal there. I don't know if we're going to have to abide by that. We shouldn't have to because we're going all the way around. And then when we get there, we're coming in this track, so we'll come round, and it looks like we do need to change a few things, so we can. It doesn't let us, but I'm assuming we can change it if we get a bit closer. Otherwise, we're probably on the wrong track here to get into the siding. I think we should be able to change that, but it's a stop signal. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. See if this has worked. She is picking up speed already, all downhill from here, so we've got to keep the brakes on pretty much the whole way. Let's hope we don't derail it. Yeah, this is one of the troublesome trucks, and the mine stuff is difficult, so we're still accelerating with full brakes. Maybe we should have got rid of 6 trucks and kept 4 full brakes and absolutely no stopping power. And I'm pretty sure we left a brake on one of the carriages as well. One of the wagons, or maybe that was on the other one. Full brakes. This may be impossible. Maybe the impossible mission. Absolutely insane. Full brakes are doing absolutely nothing. Slow down, come on. Slow down a little bit. No, it just won't slow down at all. Oh my goodness. Ah, there we go. Off the tracks. You know, usually I wouldn't be too bothered, but I think when you want to do that sort of stuff and the devs make it impossible, it does take the fun out of it. Now, if we replay that, everything's gone. The problem is everything is gone now from the mine. So let's try from main menu. Let's try going from the quarry, and we'll do it without fog this time. So we got the trucks up there, we just didn't get them back down. A little bit of shunting thrown in. So anyway, March week 4. We'll put it in the morning still, about 6 o'clock. We won't put any fog, we'll put a little bit of wetness and maybe a little bit of wind. And what we can do is spawn the trucks in the amount of trucks we need. I'm pretty sure the default is 10 though. Okay, here we are, back up. It's a little bit clearer now, we can actually see what's happening. Some reason it spawned us in there, we don't want to be there. So we clicked up here, we clicked. Right, it turns out that you can't be spawned into, that's very interesting. So these are the just places where you can drive to, we can drop stuff off. Let's try it from here then, and try and spawn less in, so we can do box vans. I see 10 is like the minimum, I don't get that, and they're fully loaded. I guess we could do empty since we've dropped off these, assuming we've dropped off the stuff at the quarry. I would like to get rid of that, and maybe 5 troublesome trucks would be decent, 6 troublesome vans. 5 troublesome vans. It's still giving us troublesome vans, though, not troublesome trucks. Let's try the empty ones. Right, I have no idea what to do. Right, we click any. We click spawn in. As you can see, well too many there. But they are, as I say, lighter. Yeah, so these are empty. So hopefully this will give us a bit of a chance to survive, but still, it's going to be extremely difficult with full brakes. You would think you'd be able to slow down a little bit, but it just doesn't seem to be a thing. So set path, we're going to go all the way down, as I say, to Knapford. We'll go down to the good siding. I'm pretty sure we can get there from there if we change the tracks. No, it doesn't look like we can, so we might have to skip that and just continue on to Tidmouth sidings and see how that goes. Let's drop them off there anyway, Knapford platform. Clearer weather, clearing up a little bit later in the day now, about 6 o'clock in the morning. Right, 10, non-fully loaded, we just dropped the load off, we'll imagine it. There it goes, just takes off like a rocket. At least have effective brakes, I mean, come on. Emergency brakes not working. It just won't do it. He's just not capable of 10 wagons downhill. Absolutely insane. And they're empty. Can we not do a like a brake or a brake on the van perhaps? There's a brake van at the back, but it's doing absolutely nothing for us. There he goes again. Insane. I think we found some potentially more bugs for Dovetail to deal with. Can't free roam and can't go where you want without and can't carry what you want without crashing. I understand we're doing a lot, but still we should be able to do empty trucks downhill. One more time. I find it strange you can't spawn up here either, so you have to actually drive there, which is just so inconvenient. Right. Gordon could probably do it, but we want to do a Thomas one this time. Let's do Troublesome trucks, but we're going to do a disconnect at least full. I was going to say we're going to do a disconnect nice and early, but so let's go back. We won't bother taking the brake van. We'll take, so we couldn't manage 6, and that was full, and that was with the brake van. So let's try 4. They're disconnected. We will slam the brake on for that one. I'm assuming that's on that. Ah, they're all okay. I get it. They're all on already. It's automatic. Let's get going. So we set a route. One more time. 3 times the charm. It's a little bit easier to control it here, slowing down a little bit. We didn't even go for the fully loaded one, so oh well, I enjoyed the mission up here. It was quite nice, nice little story. Mission down's not quite the same vibe though. If you can't do it, Thomas, and we'll try it with Gordon next time anyway. When we get to the destination, which was not going to be Knapford now, it'd be Tidmouth. We'll drop them off, and we'll probably do the same again with Percy or something. We'll get Percy to say something. And we won't go to the quarry. We'll do a quarry to from Tidmouth, like Goodyard to the quarry, possibly down in Provin's Gate, and have a look at that route there. guys, danger, there's the track he went down in the series. Never forget that one. He ends up going down not only fully loaded, but when he gets there, he ends up crashing on the wrong track, goes through there. I think there's a barrier on it in the series, and he goes right through, comes down well too fast, and then he splashes down onto that little dock. The dock disconnects from the train track, and he floats across the water. Or he goes into it. That's it, guys. That's the famous crash spot. We could recreate it, but we're not going to. He's learned his lesson. Coming down into Farquhar. There's the Farquhar loop. We did leave Annie and Clarabelle here earlier. It's a shame, as I said, it's a shame you don't keep them spawned in. Anyway, guys, we're right through. A stock is dropped off at Quarry. Deliver the rest of this to Tidmouth. Whoa, what's going on there? They got some construction work going on. Never noticed that the other day. Is that new? I thought the wall had been demolished. Oh wow. And then we're going to go past the windmill. I swear I'm not going to forget it. Like the third time. Third time I forgot it. Okay, lights coming on. So H for headlights. Yeah, there's definitely either that or it's landfall, landslides. (6:09 in the morning). Thomas does not rest until Sodor has its goods delivered. Thoroughly enjoying it. I think we're on episode 4 now as well. What have we done? We did first 2 was the story. Yesterday were the timetables. Today, Quarry runs with Troublesome trucks. Maybe the next one will be a dynamic change in season weather mod or something. There's the windmill. One of the windmills anyway, there's two different ones. So we've got that one down there which is sort of like a red stone. Then we've got the white windmill is the one I'm looking for. More construction there. Again, I swear this wasn't this disconnected yesterday. Maybe it's just because it's a bit brighter. The waterfall, the walk wheel. This dry ore. Nope, this is somewhere else. Wayfway, sports field, that's it, of course, sports field. Scare the crap out of these cows. Nice. Wait, we've gone the wrong way. We've got a somehow further away now, 1.2 miles. I think that's measuring the direct distance from my train, like directly in a straight line, so it'll probably be from there to there. That's why the distance closed a little bit. It's not considering the actual track distance. There's the airfield, of course, dry ore. Remember, dry ore's the airfield. Very small runway though, I have to say that. In fact, I can't even see the runway there. If that's it in the background, that is tiny. There's no way they're getting the airfield now. Here's the windmill coming up, so this is the white one we all know. Let's get a nice screenshot. And there it is. A few other tracks here actually leading to various places. South Knapford Harbour, of course. One of the few locations that I don't really want to go to much. We don't need to go there. Actually, then again, we could drop some off with Percy. We could get Percy to take some wagons up there. Just down there on the left. Here we are, we're coming into Tidmouth. Rarely used station as well. I think by me and by the entire series. Don't remember much here, to be fair. It was the Tidmouth turntable place which was popular, the Tidmouth Sheds. So I gotta learn the signals a bit better. I keep mixing my lineup. So we've got the green signal there. There's absolutely tons of sidings there for parking coaches, like wagons and things. We continue over and obviously leaving this sort of suburban area now, rural area for the cities. So Tidmouth is very much, if it's not a big town, it's certainly a small city. Same as Vicarstown. Well, it is an island after all, so it's probably just a big town. All the industrial stuff, so back when England used to have, as I say, industry and actually used to export things. Maybe there's some factories down here, we can see something over there, some kind of factory. Maybe a fabric factory or something else. So there's Tidmouth Sheds on the left hand side. That's where all the coaches and all the all the locos parked up in the series. I absolutely love that place. So iconic. We've come in a little bit of a problem here, so we've actually come in forward. We need to go back, so we need to somehow turn around. Thankfully there's a turntable. We may be able to reverse out. Let's do that. I'm going to mix it up a little bit, so let's stop here. Objective complete. Right. Thomas is doing a good job. I kind of want to put him in Tidmouth Sheds. Let's see if we can do that. So let's get rid of them light things, the labels. So set path. If we do it over here, maybe there. Now again, we're going to use the map for signals. I have no idea how to actually get there. So we reverse back here onto the main line now. How are we going to then turn? I think we're allowed to then turn in here. I think that's what it's going to let us do. We'll have to do it with the wagons on board. Let's try it. When we pilot Thomas up, we'll get Percy on the ball. Nice sound wall there as well. That's where them walls, the four guys, just to block out obviously the sound of the trains, and probably to some extent stop the pollution, because rather than having to go directly onto street level. But yeah, mostly sound. Right, we'll get back at the main track. As I said, I'm not sure how this is going to work. I think we have to change that point. There is also construction going on over there, some cranes, they're making a lot of noise. Back on the map, we'll do it this way because this is the only way to do it. We'll change... Oh, actually no, we have to keep going. I think it says next one, isn't it? Yeah, so it'll be this one. It doesn't even look like there's a signal there. I don't know how we're going to get on it. there's no it's not that kind of track, guys. I think that's an X track, so they don't usually have the ability to change them. You would just get put onto one by the controller. It does look like maybe a switch for it. There's a box there for sure. How in the good name of the Lord are we meant to get there from here though? If you reverse back, again there's no switches there. Let's try the contact signaler. Or maybe on the here again. Yeah, so it's very much... It is saying we can do it. Alright, we'll try it. I don't think it will, but we'll try it. Nah, it's turning there, so there's no way to change those. That's something as well, again, for Dovetail to perhaps take on board. They can be changed, so we could go straight across, but there's no signal there, there's no switch to actually change it. Yeah. Just straight through. It does have a line as if it's going to go straight through, but it won't work. I think we have to get onto another line here in order to do it. So we probably have to come through the left-hand side, and then there's very few options there. Actually, there's not many options to get on it. So it made it impossible to go to certain places on free roam mode. From certain places, that is. So certain routes are just it's just impossible to do it. Let's keep going back. I'm going to take in the environment as well. So we want that one probably on the left of us. The left one, and then that'll go straight through. Turning coming up ahead. This one, so we want to switch this. Right, so again there's no point levers here to change it. How on earth are you meant to do that? You see here, it's only pre-selected. There's no, again, very odd decisions for a train sim. Very odd. That is clearly a turnout point. So as I say, they have forbidden, and they've definitely not made the world as detailed as they think. I think they could do a bit more detail. So that means we'll have to just go. We'll just have to go here and spawn in. In order to do it, we have to disembark the train. Do that. And then what we do, we could do a bit of fast travel. We say goodbye to Thomas, but so we can still we can give up control or keep it. Right, here we go. And just be aware, track points like this, so that's going to go straight into the buffers. That needs changing. That can't be changed at all. So tab, spawn train. Now we're going to go as Percy. He's going to do a little bit of a run. We did Thomas. Kind of did it down, but we'll do it with Percy now. So we'll do... Oh, we could do a mail train. That's interesting. Anyway, 5 Troublesome trucks. So he gets the option for 5, whereas Thomas has got, it seems like, only 10. The option for 10. That's insane, isn't it? Mail line, that's going to be interesting to do. I'd like to do the mail line as well. Right, anyway, Troublesome trucks times 5 and a grey brake van. Here he is. That's not too bad. I think we could deal with that. 5 is much more tolerable than 10. But of course it's based on weight as well. Because he's not a very strong engine. Right, we need this side. Set path. Okay, we're going to go back now from Tidmouth Sheds. All the way up. To the siding. All the way through Thomas's branch line run, i.e. Thomas and Percy's branch line. All the way back up here. Holy! Whoa! What the hell was that? The timetable, what the hell? The turntable started moving. And it didn't spawn me back there. But you see that? The turntable, I wasn't even operating it. I would love the ability to spawn in coaches without a character. I think that's what we all want because you have to click on a character and you have to spawn them in with them. Well, we don't want that. Anyway, we definitely don't want to be on the turntable. I think maybe it's operated based on if you stood on it or not, but that was strange. It just started spinning for no reason. Brake van can't be used. It hasn't actually slowed me down at all. Fully loaded, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll try this again. Change the tracks. And I would also like the ability to change the weather and things inside the game, because you can only do it at the beginning when you start. You have to go back to the main menu to change it. I've given so much feedback to Dovetail through these playthroughs. Unbelievable. Just to make it easier for people and a little bit of a quality of life things, which, you know, I think they did a good job, but they've just made it too complicated. Okay, so if we contact the signaller, he will say procedures signals indicate, which is good. Let's go, Percy. Thomas has done a good job. You got a 6 o'clock run pretty early. You should be able to do it. Now we want to check we've got clear signals here, so nothing's going to derail us. Up 8 miles. Whoa, what was that? Manford Station. Gordon's Base. 2 turntables here. Actually, what we could do, we could go from, we could have gone all the way from Tidmouth, all the way down the branch line, the express line of Gordon's. I didn't even realise that. Well, obviously I did. I knew we could from Knapford, but I didn't realise we could cut all the way through. Anyway, we're on the branch line stuff today. Apologies about that, folks. Keyboard errors. Let's get it up. It's saying 40. And I think that I said before the red line was the speed limit. Well, actually, we're using the signals and the signs on the tracks, and they're giving contradicted information. So we want to stick to whatever speed the tracks say, not the speedometer there on the right, because that isn't accurate. A lot of logging camps around Sodor as well. As I say, business and industry here is good. Logging industry and probably some fabrics, I suspect. Sports field. It has stopped raining though, to be fair. We'll try dynamic weather after this, and see how dynamic it actually is. I think it is season accurate. We've set it into March, the end of March, so it should kind of be losing those autumn, because it seems to be very much like autumn still, but it should be losing those colours, and we should be seeing a lot more flowers and greenery. Although it's pretty much getting there now. I haven't tried summer and I've not tried the winter ones, but they probably do bring their own weather. Look at that, there's the hot air balloon, everyone, right in the background. Hackenbeck, next stop Farquhar Station, and then up Big Hill up to the coal mines. And that's what it probably would mining for, guys, the coal, the trains, because the trains are a big part of the industry on Sodor. The main part, in fact, they're used to export it. As you can see, we're going to take them down from the mines, probably go to the docks next, deliver from the mines to the docks, which is exactly what steam locomotives used to do. They still do it now with different trains. So they have mines where trains pick up lime, coal, etc., different minerals, different ores, and then they deliver them to the export post, which in this case will be the ship port. After they got to the ship port, they'll be sent off, sold to foreign countries, or shipped to different parts of the United Kingdom, or in this case different parts of Sodor. That was Farquhar, guys. We're now going up the bigger hill. It has a speed limit of about 15. I don't think we'll get much faster than that. This is a long, long hill. A long, long slug up the hill. Need all the speed we can get. Come on, you can do it. Right to the tippity top of Sodor, probably the highest peak on the entire island, minus the Skarloey Railway, which is also pretty high up. Once we're out of this, we'll be in the miserable coal mines. Cold and dark. Usually you'd be taking them downhill fully loaded, but in our case we're taking them up. And then of course we take them back down. Probably take more down if there's some available. Or maybe spawn a few more in and then tug them on the back. But even at 5, I know Percy's going to struggle a lot. Then again we'll disconnect, in fact we'll take 3 of them and the brake wagon, but that might even be too much still. Chains on the right one. Oh yeah, he's struggling. I thought Thomas was struggling bad, but Percy's locomotive, absolutely tiny. I think they call these are almost like tugs, and they're very, very small. They're similar sizes, just don't have as much power. You see he's got 2 wheels. I do like the physics as well. One of the things I've noticed is when it bumps into bumpers it will have an actual effect on the front there, those stoppers, so it will compress them and you'll see the metal shake around, you'll see the coaches shake around a little bit. Mine's not looking too bad actually. Or it's going to look worse than this in the daytime. And I'm using keyboard and mouse, you can probably tell. I do know it has controller support. We could plug a controller in during this session and try it out. I'm going to get it in a second actually. It's just a little bit tedious having to reach up for that keyboard. Let me know your thoughts on the game, guys. I know it is actually super popular. It's become a lot more popular than I expected, although the advertisements for it were not really there. Okay, here we are. So this is not our stop. This is just where we get recalled if we need to. So make sure this connection here is not going to send us downhill. No, it's going to send us all the way up. But yeah, we stop under there. I wonder if we can do that. Maybe that's like something they'll do in the future. Bring empty trucks up here and then have them refuel and refill at the coal towers, because there's loads of coal staves here, full of coal for the engines. Like these towers here we're about to pass through, so that's how you'd fill up those small wagons behind the small trucks. I want them to add that actually. Maybe that's already something they're planning to do. So that'd be fantastic. And again, the logging industry up here, they needed to build all the infrastructure. There's the mining stuff, so straight into the van. Some storage units, some just general rocks and stones laying about. And then the final destination. I'm not too sure how we're going to do this. I'll figure it out. We'll try and let's do it now actually, before we get pushed away into the buffers. Come on, brake van. There has to be a way to get that brake van more effective. Damn, that took almost 10 seconds though. Right, objective complete. So now we've got a little bit of free movement. These are not actual controlled zones, so there's no light signals here, which means we can go back and forth. The reason I'm doing this is I'm going to disconnect a few, pull them into the siding, and then we'll take less down. We can only manage 2 or possibly 3 push with the brake van on back. We'll put them into that right side and next to us. Watch and learn as I attempt to learn myself. Okay, brake on. Let's hop out the seat. So, it'd be cool to turn up and have somebody waiting here for you to help you out. So as you can see there, it's not giving us an option. This is has been something that's popping up throughout, so I don't think it's because we're on this point, because we're not on it, but I think it's because there's the assumption that you're not going to change it by hand, and you're going to use the map, which I think is wrong. So if we go up here, we go on map. If we click it, you see it changes to this siding. The reason why we want to do that is we want to get those connected to, so we'll disconnect, we'll keep 2 and we'll disconnect the rest of them. So you'll see there's no marker coming up telling me what to do because I turned it off. So you see now the brakes on the wagons, they look really detailed down here, by the way. The metal, the wheels look superb on the wear and tear and the rust. Well, yeah, the brakes have come on automatic. I don't know about this thing, it doesn't seem to slow you down at all. Let's get the camera back on this side. Okay, so we got the 3. I just realised we're backwards. This is not going to work, is it? Unless we're... How the hell are we going to do this? I don't know how I did it the first time. I swear I came up here the first time and then managed to part them, but we would need to reverse, I guess. Well, I'm being a bit stupid, so that ain't going to work. We'll do it at the next one. We'll continue onwards to the other siding, which is just down there. It's not too far away. So as you can see, what we're going to do is we need to change this. You see the lever, so we switch it there, and then we're going to go all the way down. As I say, this is not a control zone, so you can just keep going all the way down. And we'll drop them down here somewhere. You don't need to put a waypoint for it, I don't think, because obviously it's not controlled. So let's reverse these. We have just switched 1 point. There we go. And it goes down the wrong track, of course. Of course it does. Put that there as well. So we need to change this one. No, still not letting me do it. Let's try that. Ah, that does it. So back onto the view. Use the rear angle for this one so we can see where we're driving. Oh, I love that little whistle. Okay, back we go. Another tower to recall ourselves. You see there, it comes down the chutes from the mines and then drops down into there, ready to be transported on trains. And then our job is to get it to the docks. One of our jobs, at least. And there's more along here. This will probably just be so it doesn't look like there's any connections, so I'm not sure if these are filled up or not. Seems to be something there that you transport it up, but then it drops down in the van rather than coming over here. Maybe they're looking to extend the mine a little bit. And you'll notice as well the tracks around here are a little bit dirtier. Like the actual silver stuff, the contact points for the wheels are really rusted in some places. Okay, there it is. There's the dead end. It's got 2 roads here driving out. Bearing in mind, we've got to change this point, everyone, going back down. Oh wow, do you see that? There's sparks coming off the wheels. That's new, I haven't seen that before. So he's got his brakes slammed on. As he skids, it sparks. That's incredible. Incredible attention to detail. Looks like we'll be leaving the brake van here, possibly. Then again, we could do the 3 disconnected, and we will... There we go. So let's get out. Let's unhook these 3. Brakes on automatic. We'll continue forward. We will then reverse down into that one and put them over there. Good. Keep the door open for this. Ah yes, my plan is working absolutely fine. Coming together nicely. Ah, that's an X-track, isn't it? No? X-track possibly not. Whoa, whistle going off then. Right, yeah, these tracks here, so we've got two switch points, and then there's an X track in the middle there too. I've never seen, it's very rare. These are, I think these are called like diamond crossings, but this particular configuration is very rare to see. So you can see I've got 2 points on either side going into a sort of diamond crossing. Again, very rare to see those in even in the real world. Forward a little bit. There's also a nice little wooden cross there. Right, we are outside. Got to use the old number 3 again. Please tell me this is going to change it. No, so we still have to go back, annoyingly, onto the map. Oh, look at that, they're bumping all over the place. And someone will come and pick these up later. Again, I'm not sure if they stay here or if they vanish after we've left the region. But either way, the vans are here for people if they need them. There's my character. Oh god, I didn't realise he had a ponytail. Hey, we disconnect those troublesome trucks, we'll leave them there. We'll keep going and hook up the rest of these, and then we'll get going down to the yards, the docklands. Percy, doing more work than Thomas. Yeah, so I'm disappointed about that. Anyway, keep forgetting it as well. Unbelievable. Alright, backwards. Connect the 2 remaining. There we are, nice and hooked up. Now I think if we want to go back down the hill, We're gonna have to change. I don't know. I honestly, I'm so sorry, guys. I keep doing it. I think everyone else is doing the same thing as well. We all expecting to be able to do it by hand. We'll have to do it here. We'll have to set. As you see here, we'll have to set the next waypoint. Right. So what we do? Go back here, do the usual. Click on the train, set path. Now, if I have added via 2 points, which is apparently how you can stop in between, but I've also just been adding a direct path and it's not had any issues. So what we want to do is go down here. Now when we come down here we need to take a left hand turn and then we can get onto the docklands. So we'll go onto the left side today, and you can even go all the way down here actually to Knapford Harbour. Station platform. We'll go here though to number 1. 5.4 miles. Hopefully we don't overspeed on the downhill because it is pretty damn steep. Again, if the trucks stay there, that's fantastic. We might have Gordon pick them up later. I did want to change the weather again, but there is no way to do it in the game, unfortunately. Trust me everyone, this is for my own good. I learned my lesson earlier as Thomas trying to take 10 wagons back down the hill, or 6 or however many it was. We got up to 45 miles an hour, I think 45, 50 miles an hour just on the downhill stretch. You have to go super slow, otherwise they'll fly off the tracks. Please tell me we've gone down the right one. There's a dead end there, we could have crashed into it. Jesus. No, it's not. It would have sent us right into the buffer stop. That's embarrassing, isn't it? Imagine if we hadn't changed that, we would have crashed. I got to check them all now. I'm paranoid. We're gonna balls up the whole mission. I don't think any of them are on the right one. They should be now when we go downhill, but before that they weren't. It looks like Percy's having an easier time as well managing it. To be fair, I think this is a good amount for his size of a train. 2 little troublesome trucks and a brake van. Then again, I might have spoke too early. On full braking. I wonder if we could put the brakes on the vans while we're driving it. That might help. Ah, we can put the brake on, so that should slow us down a little bit. Right, what? Troublesome truck with his brakes on. First he's got his brakes on, we're still going 23 miles an hour. We don't want to get over, I think it's 35, 40s when things start to get heated up. is working. The plan is working. And if we need to, we could put the brake on the other one. You can definitely see the train sim world inspiration and influence on this game, aside from being using their own engine and things for it. I'm talking about other things as well, like the camera angles. The hood itself is a little bit different, but still very, very similar. The lighting, just very excellent stuff. I watched Train Sim World last night, and you know, I haven't played it. I'm not too keen on getting it, but it does look like a pretty fun game. I think we're on Train Sim World 6 now as well. Well, let's get back over here, let's take the brake off and see his speed instantly increases. Fascinating. We got not long left to the stream, everybody. This will be the final run, so we're going to drop these off in Knapford Harbour, and then that will be the final run this evening. And that way we would have done a couple of Quarry runs with Thomas, a couple of Troublesome truck runs with him, and with Percy as well. Okay, here's the steep bit I forgot about. Brakes are coming back on. It has a huge effect, by the way, if you are struggling with this sort of stuff, to just use the Troublesome trucks brakes. It's slowing me down like you wouldn't believe. The brake band, on the other hand, doing absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing to stop me. Sunset as well, so we've gone from 6 o'clock, 6:40, and the sun is just coming out. Perfect timing. And if you want to see a bit of fog and things, a bit of darker, foggy weather, go back to the beginning of the stream, because it's Thomas in the fog and it looks fast. It does look fantastic. It reminded me of this show actually. There's a horror episode and a scary one that probably one of my favourite episodes actually. When I used to watch it like 30 years ago, jeez, 20 years ago, however long it was. Okay, those barriers just changed as we went through, and we're going to continue now. We can speed up to 45. What an image that is. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Cinematic is the word. Absolute cinema. And of course into the long tunnel, all downhill though. I think there's been some collapses at the side here. You see the rocks on the side, they seem like they've come off almost like a landslide. Incredible. Get the brake off, come on. Left the blooming thing on. There we go, that's probably slowing us down a little bit. Two miles to go, 2 miles down Knapford Harbour. There we got an orange signal coming up. They're going to change. No, it remains the same. That is for us. That's a long distance signal, I believe. So we should be taking a left hand turn now. This is the diversion to Knapford Harbour. All new for me. I've never been down this route before. We have changed them properly, so we can just continue on friendly. Frame rate's dropping a little bit. It has been steady 62, which was the pre-select. Cranked it up to 100. It's not really changed too much during the session. It is dropping, but performance on the computer is fine. It's keeping up with it. It's not a particularly demanding game, so I'm not sure why it wouldn't have been pre-selected higher than that. But yeah, if you guys have noticed the difference with ultra settings with 100 FPS, I think it does look better. Anyway, let's slow down before we crash. We're about to come into the harbour, so we're going to go down, as I said, the left-hand side. We'll drop these off. Look at that. And who knows? Maybe maybe we can go all the way back for the remaining 2 troublesome trucks in the quarry. 30 miles an hour, I think, is the limit. It'd be cool so if they add Toby in here as well. I said Duck as well. Duck, Toby, Edward James. The crane face guy, who's, I can't remember his name, but I'm pretty sure he was at the docks. Really surprised they didn't add him into it. Or at least add a face onto a crane. Right, green signals. Not sure if there's a turntable here. Here we are, dropping our cargo off. I think the most successful run so far. Thomas had a bit of a strange start, but still he delivered the goods, albeit to a different place at Knapford. Looks like there is no turntable. Or maybe there's one over there, because there seems to be more parking there. Right, Percy's gonna stop here. Let's explore. I think that's the crane at the end, isn't it? Right over there. And these are the cranes I'm talking about. So we have a bit of parking there. Ah, there is train tracks coming through here, so we could continue. We could have come down here and then. Oh wait, this is the station, Knapford Harbour Station. I didn't even realise people got on here. Blimey. Completely forgot. Yeah, no turntable down there. That's no use to us. Hey, they've got birds though. Isn't this picturesque to end? Free camera as well is pretty much that. There's no restrictions here at the moment. Harbour's pretty open. And almost 7 o'clock, and the sun has indeed come up to rise. Alright guys, we're not going to end just yet. There's one more thing. You probably already know I want to try. We're going to go now, teleport. We're going to leave Percy there. He's done his job. Thomas and Percy did some good delivery jobs. Cargoes with Troublesome trucks. We're going to go down here to Crovan's Gate, because I want to try and see what's up here. Now, I keep saying Skarloey Railway. This is where it would be. From Crovan's Gate. Now, there's nothing there. So, whatever this is probably the start of it. If they're going to build onto it. Because there's a lot of things here missing. So, we've only got this bit here. On the map of the island, the actual island, there's train tracks going all the way up here, all the way up north. You've got the Skarloey there. You know, you've got tons and tons of tracks and places missing. So, we'll go down here. We'll check it out. I suspect it will just be a little bit of scenery in a buffer stop, possibly. We'll get off the train. Just so we can teleport. That's literally it. Okay, see you later, Percy. Thank you for the... Can we not close the door? Thank you for the work. And enjoy the cobblestone as well. It's very rare we get these anymore. The old cobblestone docks. See, Crovan's Gate narrow gauge station. People keep saying about wanting narrow gauge trains, and the Skarloey Railway is the narrow gauge train track. And the narrow gauge train, so that's why I've been saying about it. Crovan's Gate, we've got a little bit of time here to look around, maybe in a collectible poster or something. Still not found any of Mr. Topham's hats. We got a whistle. I want one of Topham's hats though. That would be a bit more important. Okay, so from here we go literally it. This is a dead end, so they've obviously planned something here if this is not connected to the main track. I think they are planning on bringing it in, Scarlowy. I really do. Let's spawn him in. We'll go with the bad guy this time, Diesel. Not played him very much. There you go. Into the cab. Trying to remember which side. To the side it is with the levers and things. I think it's this one. But then again, they've designed it very much like it could be two-player co-op mode. Set a path. So there's the thing is about this, you have to set a path to get going, which means actually, yeah, thinking about it, if you are going to free play and you want to go up there, you can't do it because there's no waypoint there. So it's an unused line and it's not usable. Let's try it. There is no signals here, so maybe we're good to go. So we've not got a waypoint. These are the tracks that or the narrow gauge that actually Diesel is kind of not suitable for it, so you can see underneath. I'm not sure how they're letting this be possible. Nobody can actually go on here because they're too big. Even Diesel's wheels that overlap in the train tracks. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, so I 100% think they're bringing the Scarlowy team in for a bit of DLC action. Anyway, a new area to quickly look around and then we'll call it quits. Hopefully don't crash at this barrier. They've modelled it. You've reached the end of the represented area, right? That's very interesting. So there's no track there. The track there, but you can't use it. So there's Crowman's Gate. We would have got to the tunnel and then it would have been up into the hills. Anyway guys, that's it for this evening. It has been an off-schedule Saturday stream. We've done a little bit of early morning stuff with Thomas up to the quarry and back. I actually really enjoyed that early morning stuff with the fog. It looked cinematic, it looked really nice, and it was pleasurable to drive through as well. Then we did a bit as Percy, so Thomas and Percy today for a bit of Quarry with the Troublesome trucks. And a few derails, but I'm getting there. I'll probably do one more stream after this on it, and then I will leave it a little bit just until I see what happens and what comes on the updates. But yeah, I've been enjoying it. I just think it's a little bit lacking for the price. Anyway everybody, thank you so much. Please feel free to go back to the beginning and check it out. And have a great evening. I'll see you Monday for the usual stream on the sim. That'll be a flight sim. And in the meantime, look after yourselves. Take care.